What's up, guys? You're watching Johnny Fabs, and today we're back with a huge update. I got some parts in that I'm super excited about. So, as you can see from the title, you already know, but I went ahead and ordered some BC Racing Coilovers for the hatch. So, I had to do this sooner than I thought, because to run these wheels, the suspension would really collapse in cornering, and it was going to tear up the tires. So went ahead and ordered some coilovers. They look really nice. Here's the first look at them. So here's the front. They're fully adjustable. So they have the ride height adjustment and then the preload. And then they also have the dampening setting adjustment. So you can go soft or hard, make it really stiff, or a nice ride. So yep, that's what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to get these installed on the car. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we got the rear wheel off. I started on the rear because I think that's going to be pretty self-explanatory. Pretty easy in the back. So there's one bolt here, and then there's the two bolts in the trunk. So I'm going to undo the one on the bottom, and then we'll lower the car down and get the two at the top undone. So yep, going to do that now. So now I have to take this cover off, and there's two nuts on the top of the strut. Take those off, and then we're ready to pull the old ones off. As you can see, once you pull that cover off, there's a nut there and a nut on the other side of this. So you just pull this rubber boot off and then undo those two nuts. And then I just pulled that cover off with a screwdriver. So yep, gonna do that and then drop the old strut out. So as you can see now, the two nuts are off and the boot is off. So we're going to lift the car back up and get the rear old strut out. So it looks like we're going to have to pull this lower control arm bolt out to get it all the way off. So yes, I don't know if you guys caught that, but as soon as I let go of that lower control arm bolt, then the whole lower control arm fell and the strut rolled away. So yep, pretty easy takeout. I'd watch out for that. But I'm gonna get all this stuff cleaned up and then go install the new coils. So yep, gonna do that, and then we'll get these really nice BC Racing Coilovers installed. I'm super happy about how they look, and hopefully they perform well. So BC provides these spanner wrenches, one for the rear, one for the front, and then they give you extra nuts in case you lose them or break them or strip them. So they have their logo right there. So I'm going to have to loosen this bottom one in order to get the top hat to spin the right direction. This one must be for the front. Take the rear one out. Now I can, once I loosen this jam nut, I can spin the top hat to line up. I'm gonna just leave this loose. I'm gonna lift it up and then put the 2 top nuts in for now. So here's a look at the coilovers installed with the top hat and then the gold rings. And you can see it says Honda 92 to 95 fork R. I think R is for rear. And then the 1 bolt down here. So yeah, they look really good and they should perform really well. So it fought me going into couple of the bolts, but we got it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other side and then start doing the fronts. So I wanted to show you before I got the last rear coilover on the comparison between the old one and the new one. So you can obviously tell by the height, that one's about, I don't know, 2 inches shorter. And then the spring rate, there's a lot less springs, so I know these springs are a lot heavier. And then this one also has the dampener adjustment. This one does not. So yep, gonna go ahead and install the last rear one and then we'll move on to the front. So I got the rears on, it looks good already, and this is about as high as I can go on the ride height. So here's a look at like the ride height. So it's about a little bit lower than stock, but I did adjust the coils up because I was worried about it rubbing. So yeah, we're going to move along to the fronts, which the fronts are pretty much going to be the same except for unbolting it to the fork and like the brake brackets and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much the same. So we're gonna get right into it. Alright, so we're going to do the front. So the first thing I'd like to do is get the rims and tires off, and then I take these 14mm 2 nuts off the top, and then we can drop the strut down, and then we can work on the bottom side. So let's get to it. Now I'm going to take these brake line brackets off just to get them out of the way. Now that those are off, we can take the lower portion of the fork, lower bolt off. And that's a 17mm. And then I like to take this fork bolt out, which is a 14mm. Once you get that off, you can separate the top strut from the fork and then pull the strut off. So you got the old one off, and then we'll go ahead and install the new BC Racing Coilovers. Just going to sneak this in, put the two studs up through the top, and then put the two nuts on the top. Then I'm going to install the fork to the coil, reinstall the 14mm bolt. I'm not going to tighten it down until I can jack up on the lower control arm to put the right pressure on it. Just going to start it. Going to loosen up this jam nut and then spin this to align the brake brackets. So I like to jack up this all the way till it lifts the weight off of the car. And that's a 17mm. Then once I got that set, I'm going to make sure the bracket for the brake is in the right spot. That looks about right. Now I'm going to tighten that 14mm bolt that holds the coilover to the fork. Alright guys, so we just finished up the install on the coilovers on the hatch, and it looks really good. Here's a look at the ride height right now. I can go really low, probably 3 inches lower than this, but I'm going to leave it as is right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for more. I'm going to be getting a base map for the Civic really soon, so I'm going to be able to drive it around and get the bugs worked out, and then eventually we'll go get it tuned. So yep, here's a look at the final product. I can already tell that these are going to perform a lot better, and the dampener adjustment is really cool. So yep, please hit that like button, please subscribe, and peace.